Kandi Thompson.
And Garrett Gray.
Okay, so that's fun, right?
I
like,
think so.
what to do
It's
Wednesdays, we didn't have,
say.
like, any reason to say our names. But, like, we really are Real Talk with Kandi Thompson and
Garrett Gray.
I know, that's so fun.
Well, see, what I like about it is the way, and we've been kicking back and forth different logos, but every time I've been changing descriptions and kind of going through the YouTube stuff, it's always kind of, when I'm typing it up, it's easy to say when I'm like, Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett, capital R-E, right? It just, it flowed super well.
Yeah.
And so, because it is capital R-E, Real Talk. So, because, we real talk about real things and real estate and everything that's
real
in
life
between.
Stuff. Okay, so we've been having this conversation about our logo, and we have, and you'll see it. So now today you can see our logo, and we were going back and forth on the initials.
Right.
And the consensus from all of my poll is RE.
When you texted me that today, I wanted to feel bad for, I wanted to be like, oh, Kandi, I mean, I agree. I think we should still flip a coin, but I mean, everybody was in my favor, and I kind of was, I felt bad for a moment, but inside I was like, yes.
Here's what I felt bad for. I felt bad for like I gave Garrett an option, but it really wasn't real. Like, he really didn't have a say.
I didn't think I did
kidding.
either.
You did.
No, I know.
I'm totally kidding.
I knew you took my opinions, but
yeah.
it's just again, when I was typing it all up, it just made sense because I always kept putting when I was doing the Chat GPT is what I was really doing, because I was hoping they would just capitalize R-E and real, so I didn't have to change the spelling.
Yeah.
And what it kept doing was, it did it, Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett with a capital R-E, and I was like, see, now that's cool.
Yeah.
It already kind of is figuring it out. So if we just made it RE as a thing, and I also think it's, it just looks nice. I don't know. The team looks good though nice. Too.
So the options were that the initials were going to be RT for Real Talk, or Garrett thought RE. And I understand the RE because we have real estate.
Right.
But my thought was, if you know nothing about us and you know nothing about this podcast and you see the logo, what does that mean to you? And so I asked, in all of the polls that I took, I said, when you see, tell me which one you like the best and tell me why you like it. And so it's funny because they didn't like RE because of real estate. They liked it because of real. They said it begins isn't that interesting?
But see, that makes sense though. It's real.
Yeah, and so it kind of does accentuate the fact that our R and our E are capitalized.
Yeah.
And so I like the look of it better.
I do too.
It had to make sense. Yeah. I didn't want something to just have weird initials because we like the look of it.
So we're playing around with it. We came up with that as our main logo, so then we could start getting into branding and stickers and all the fun.
So fun. We want to have one on our cup.
Right. Mm-hmm. All the fun stuff, and then hopefully start getting a new banner out and just making it more, we'll change with time, and that's just what it's going to be.
It's fun. We love this kind of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
So Super Bowl Sunday.
Man, watching that, honestly, I didn't get to watch it except through my ESPN app because it was only streaming on 2 sites that apparently I don't pay for. So that was super upsetting.
That's how football was?
It was only, instead of you go online, it's on Fox, it's on ESPN, it's on anything you want to pull up. No, it was only on CBS or Paramount Plus if you had the sports package.
Oh, that's funny.
And so I get to go to my ESPN app and just got to watch the highlights and play-by-play actions and see the line get thrown back and forth. So I didn't actually, besides the highlights that I got to watch today, I didn't really get to watch the game, which is very upsetting. But I know that it was an onslaught. I am a football guy, and that's why I was even my wife was like, "What? You can't find it?" I'm like, "No, I can't find it." And so I had to fill my time doing other stuff on Sunday, which was fun, but.
So who is your team?
So I'm actually a Seattle Seahawks fan.
Okay.
And how it came about, my dad was a big Seattle Seahawks fan back when they're in the AFC, and his brothers were 49er fans and Raider fans. So he's like, well, I'm just going to go against both you guys and be a Seattle fan because that's different.
Right.
In this area, it's definitely different.
Right, definitely.
And then when I started getting into football, I started liking them, and it just so happened that they were going to the Super Bowl against the Saints, which we still think was fake. But, or no, the Steelers, not the Saints, the Steelers, which we still think was because Big Ben was not Big Ben, Jerome Bettis was retiring, Ward was retiring, and all them, so they just gave him the win. Because there's conspiracy with Super Bowls.
Oh, there
right?
is.
There's a conspiracy about who's retiring and who should win. I mean, go look at like the Ray Lewis story and all the other guys that won the Super Bowl right before their retirement.
Oh.
And then there's also another spoof that the logo and the colors, because the logo comes out way before the actual people were picked, right? And then the colors depict who's going to be in it, and then whatever color's majority on the bottom of the logo is going to win. So this year was red and green. Kansas City and Eagles, and the Eagles were dominantly on the bottom of the green,
really?
And they ended up winning. And it's done it for 4 to 5 different Super Bowls in the past 5 to 6 years. So just so you got, look it up. It's a conspiracy theory, but I'll go with it. You're a
conspiracy theorist. Like, you know all the conspiracies.
I just on YouTube too much.
Well, I have to be honest. I love the Super Bowl, and I'm so excited for it every year because it's the end of football. It's my most exciting thing. I'm always willing to go to a Super Bowl party because I will celebrate the end of football.
So did you guys go to a Super Bowl party this year?
We did. Yep. We went we had friends from church. Actually, they're friends before church, and then they ended up,
they just happened to
when
go
they
to the
moved
same
here,
church?
they went to our church.
Right.
Yeah. And so we went to their house, and that was super fun. And it was a good time. I mean, we got to hang out and talk a lot with the ladies, right? And then I decided to make my way into the football room. And it was funny. I mean, it did seem like super crazy how lopsided the score was. That was kind of crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't even care about football. And I was like, is someone throwing this game?
Well, you look and you go back and you watch all of Kansas City's game throughout the year and how they played, right? And then you get to the Super Bowl and they physically just could not execute.
Yeah.
The defense of the Eagles and the offensive line of the Eagles just had they put on a clinic of just what to do and how to do it right, and they executed every little piece that the Kansas City just could not keep up with. It was physically impossible. But it's just crazy to watch these, the people that are masters of their craft, and they get to the absolute end and they go like that.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, it's not like they weren't even used to being there.
No,
they've been there.
It was going to be a three-peat. It was going to be the first time ever, 3 back-to-back, Super Bowl winners, right? And they just absolutely crushed under the pressure.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was very crazy. I love the commercials. Mm-hmm. That's always my favorite.
Well, we had kids come in today talking about the puppy monkey baby.
Oh,
which has been on the commercials for the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Puppy monkey baby.
I do. It's hilarious. And I did. I thought it was. Of course, there was always the staple Budweiser commercial, and it just seemed inappropriate. The whipped cream commercial. Did you see it?
Nope, they didn't watch the game.
Oh,
so
Garrett!
You're gonna have to. Okay, now explain it to me like I wasn't there and partially blind, because I am. So we're gonna make it happen.
They're cracking me up. So, no, I'm not gonna explain it. It was just weird. It was it was just like the tongue, and it was gross, and it was just weird. So you're gonna watch it. Yeah, no, I'm serious. It was a weird one.
What was it? A whipped cream commercial?
It was whipped cream. Literally, it was a whipped cream commercial.
Well, they're taking a playbook out of the Doritos commercials. It has to be, because the Doritos commercials got pretty weird when they started licking people's hands. I thought.
Oh no, I think this is the weirdest one. I was like, I almost didn't like whipped cream anymore. Like, I think it kind of did the opposite of what they wanted.
There is some people that only watch the Super Bowl for the commercials.
No, I love it. The commercials are my favorite. Yeah. No, I love them. And I do have, I didn't watch the whole Super Bowl, so I didn't get to see all the commercials, but no, it was fun. We're all done. I do have to admit.
All done.
All done. I have to admit that there were 2 times when I loved football. And one of those was when my nephew played on the state championship team for Argonaut. That was a blast. We did not miss a game. We went to all of them. It was so much fun. And we even traveled away with him. It was super fun. And then the other one was when my girls, their sophomore year at TCU, TCU went to the national championship.
Right.
And that was a blast. Like those games and the stuff they pulled out at the end. And I mean, it was so much fun. Like I can get why it could be fun.
The atmosphere around college football compared to NFL,
different.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
Like I used to go when I was living in Missouri. I went and I watched some Mizzou games. And I lived in Missouri twice, right? I went there for a couple of training times, and then I also lived there and was an instructor for the military as truck driving schools, right? It was really what it was. They always said glorified DMV is what we were over there, because it was the same check sheet that you'd have at a DMV checklist as you're taking your driver's ed test, but we did it on like, multi-million-dollar trucks.
Oh my gosh.
So, but I went to some of the Mizzou games up there, and it's just absolutely insane. But I love the atmosphere compared to when I go to like an NFL game. Because I already have like this feeling when I go to an NFL game, I'm like, man, I'm going to go there. I'm paying one, a whole bunch for this ticket. And then two, I got to go buy $12 to $13 beers. And then I have to go up and get into the bathroom, which the guys' bathrooms at games like that are, if not worse than girls' bathrooms I've ever seen anywhere in my life. It's like 2 hours wait line at certain bathrooms sometimes. Well, I just went to the Vegas game, the Raiders, and who did they play? The Falcons, I think. And I went to the bathroom one time, and I was like, nope, I'm going to hold it for the rest of the time. Because I sat there, and I literally went at just before the second quarter going into half, and I didn't make it back until halftime was over.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Wow, I didn't realize that was such a big deal. That's crazy.
You got to schedule things.
We were very fortunate for you have to schedule the bathroom.
You have to. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So it's.
Oh my gosh, you can create an app. You can create an app that they schedule to when they can go. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna schedule a Go Pee app.
Go Pee app.
That's it. That's right. Go Pee. I want to go Pee app.
Ticket monitoring system.
There's actually so not to get too far off on this tangent, but there is a Go Pee app that's for when you're in the movies.
Really?
So when you're in the movies, it tells you if you're watching a certain movie, it will tell you when to go pee, and not
like when there's a lull in the movie.
Yes, yep. Oh. It'll tell you like the best time to use the restroom. And for somebody who has to pee 3 times a movie, like I need to know when the lulls are, because like the adrenaline and you get super excited, and then of course that's when you have to pee, right?
Yeah.
But like that's not when you want to leave. It's during the exciting.
I think it'd be better for like having kids. So my kid's 7, and when we go to the movies, it's. He has to go to the bathroom on the off times when I don't have to go to the bathroom. So I have to go to the bathroom. I come back. I asked him if he had to go to the bathroom. No, he didn't have to go to the bathroom. But 2 minutes later, he's got to go to the bathroom. So now I got to go to the bathroom 8 times within the movie, 4 for me and 4 for him or whatever.
Okay, so that's something that I've never experienced. And I love that you just shared that. I have to use the restroom so often that my kids will just piggyback on my time.
Right.
I've never had to have them say they have to go and I wasn't ready. Like, okay, I'll go too.
I'm the worst at that too. I'm like the road trip stuff. I was always the one that has to use the bathroom. I have to stop. I have to go right now. Yeah. And that's what it is. So I orchestrate it with my kids. Okay, Dad's using the bathroom. Yeah. We're going to go try to use the bathroom.
My girls will say, because, we caravan out to TCU every year. We've done it for 4 years. And so they'll call me because we have, Adam rides with one of them and I ride with one of them. And so whoever's riding with Adam will call our car and say, hey, Mom, do you have to go pee? I'm like, yeah, how did you know? They just didn't want to tell Dad they had to go. They didn't want to be the one to say, Dad, I'm going to have to go. Like, we'll blame this one on Mom. She always has to go.
Always has to go. Yeah.
So anyway,
good time
sorry for the pee tangent. Well, but speaking of that, we have been blessed to go to TCU football games for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's been so much fun. What an incredible stadium that is. I mean, honestly, just going to a football game in Texas, whether it's high school or college, is like the most incredible experience. Football is no joke in that state.
Well, do you think the girls are going to want to move back after they graduate, or are they going to want to stay in Texas?
So Emily wants to come back. Erin, it's just going to depend on where she's accepted to law school.
Gotcha.
So she's applied to 4 different places, and so one of them is SMU, which is the rival to TCU. That's Southern Methodist University, which is in Dallas. And so if she would be okay staying in Texas for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
They're not interested in living there for the rest of their lives, but they've really enjoyed Fort Worth and they love TCU. Like they used to bleed green and now they bleed purple. And now they're a frog. They used to be a Mustang and now they're a frog.
Yeah. That's how it happens.
I mean, go frogs.
Go. Little shout out.
Yes. So, anyway, Super Bowl was fun. And then, so I wanted to tell you, I didn't know if you are familiar with comedians at all, but,
I have an idea of comedians and I know some of them. I don't remember a lot of their names because I'm really bad at names.
Yeah.
Even with actors, I can know, like, I know what they played in, and I can probably quote a ton of movies.
Yeah.
But I don't know their names, so you're gonna have to dog walk me on this one.
I'm just gonna dog walk you. Okay. I feel like you should have a leash on. That was like a really weird thought to dog walk you.
Well, dog walk is slow, right? You're just walking the dog.
You don't have big dogs.
Well, you're right. I don't. Mine are.
No, that's not a slow walk.
They're not my dog.
They
they're my
drag
wife's
us.
dogs.
A dog walk is not an enjoyable slow thing. You're being drugged.
No. Your dogs are the size of bears, so it's completely different.
And you can't walk them both at all, or you're a goner. Yeah, and God forbid you see a cat. Anyway, so Nate Bargatze is so he is like the cleanest comedian out there. And if you've not looked him up, Nate Bargatze is super. I think it's Bagatze, right? Something like that. If you start typing close to that, it's going to come up. So
sure, if you put Nate comedian, it'll probably come up.
Oh, it will. He's so funny. He did a Christmas special on Christmas night, and like we died. He is hilarious. He uses real life experiences. Like he could make them up, but I'm almost like I believe they're real life what he's gone through. Yeah. He's so funny. So he was talking about the other day because he is right about my age range. So I think he's like a couple years younger than me. So like it's funny, like you know our age range is funny, Garrett, because we were not raised with any kind of technology at all.
Right.
I mean, I remember when I was 17 and my answering machine went digital, right? And I could not figure it out. Where is the tape? Like, how is this thing even work, right? I was 17. And then after that, it just went crazy. But so we were raised without any technology and we had to raise kids with all of it. And so it's a really weird thing. So there are a lot of funny thought processes that go along with that. But he was so funny. He was talking about how, and this isn't a funny thing, but just the thought of it was kind of humorous. Like, he said that when we were kids, because obviously we played outside, right? And to think about it today, to think like we legit would go play outside and you would not come home until it was dark. I mean, unless now, if your friend's parents fed you lunch, then otherwise your mom would feed you lunch, right? But otherwise they didn't see you. They had no idea where you were. And when it was dark, you knew you had to get home. And that was it. So there was only one, this is horrible. It's not funny. And I'm so sorry to even think it was funny, but there was only one time that I was almost kidnapped. And it was real, and it was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life. And my sister Kim and I were, I think I was in maybe kindergarten and she was in first grade, or maybe she was in first and I was in second, but we were very, very little, and it scared me to death. And so when Nate said this, it kind of resonated with me. But that there were so many kids.
It funny because you have like a personal connection in the conversation.
But kids, there were so many more kids that like in the like 80s and 90s, so many more kids used to be kidnapped than they were today. And I just, in my mind, I thought to myself, it's because they played outside. It's because kids used to play outside. Do you think that's why?
I think it's definitely why, but I think that it's changed.
They were targets.
It's changed with the market. Not saying this right. I'm not saying this right. It's changed with
making it a real estate topic.
Well, no, it's changed with the times because now I feel like a lot of we're just going to say human trafficking instead of kidnapping.
Right.
They target their person before they even know that they're going to kidnap them because they can see them all online now. So they don't have to just pick up a whole bunch.
For sure.
They just know exactly which one's going to go for the best one. I mean, it's horrible to say, but I mean, I'm going to go, that's what I'm going to think why it's changed. Wow. You know, when we first were talking about this conversation. But you know, I think that, you know, a lot more kids are playing out back now instead of out front. I have seen some videos about some kids trying to get kidnapped in the front. Oh.
I'm so sorry. You said pick up bunches. You said they don't have to go pick up whole bunches. bunches. I don't think they picked up whole bunches. I think that they would have been caught.
I'm not a kidnapper. I don't know. I
mean, I from what I remember when we were little, I think they would get like a kid, maybe two if they're playing together. But I don't think they like had a big kidnapping net and they just pick up a big bunch of kids. That was hilarious.
Hey guys, can we all just gather around and get on in?
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I'm so sorry. It just struck me really funny. Anyway, I do think though, you're right. It is. So social media has definitely created, it is a target market. That's a horrible target market. But it's right. It's true. And that's a horrible thing though, that the predator, nature of online stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it is too because people don't play outside as much. I mean, it's kind of like, you may not even remember this because you're so young, but like when I was little and someone would knock on the door, you were so excited. Mm-hmm. Like you would, oh my gosh, you'd be so excited. Like the whole family would come to see who was at the door.
Yeah.
You'd open the door, you'd welcome them in, like you were so excited. When I raised my kids and someone knocked on the door, they would hit the deck and try to crawl out of the room without anyone seeing them. Isn't that so funny what has changed?
Yeah, that's way different.
It's so
my
funny.
Kids now are like, they'll hear the door and they'll just automatically run to it, and Maddie or me have to go, whoa. We're not slinging doors open around here, right?
Right.
Unless we know who it is, we'll say, hey, go get the door. But if not, like, let an adult go and get it. Because I think we've seen probably a video or two where it's like, oh, hey, kid, whoop.
No, and it is. And I mean, nowadays, who doesn't lock their door, right? Like the door is locked. Like you don't even answer the door. When my kids were little, like I'd talk through the door. Well, if I didn't know you, the door was never open.
Talk through the
ring cameras
and vivid cameras. Yeah,
I love the ring cameras. Yeah, so no, it is so crazy. And
probably changed. I'd like to look at the statistic of that, of you know, kidnapping from, let's say, the 80s and 90s going into the late, 2020 actually, 2021. I mean, we have 5 years of data that we could probably pull from, and let's do 5 years from the back end. I would like to see what that kind of looks like.
It is, and I in thinking about this, because obviously we do our thoughts online, and thinking about this, human sex trafficking is the #1 industry in the world, and it's horrible. It is a horrible, horrible thing. It's so very scary and dangerous, and I think though so many kids are missing from that, that I think that like the statistics of like actual kidnapping of somebody coming through the neighborhood and grabbing a kid is a completely different ballgame than human sex trafficking. You know what I mean? Like I think they're taking the kids and they swoop them off, but it's a whole different ballgame. But I'd be curious to know, because I think the numbers are dramatically larger in that than they were when we were little. But like comparing apples to apples, that would be, and you got to think like, if it wasn't on the news, we didn't hear about it. So there was no social media. So, I mean, and that's literally why they used to have kids' pictures on the back of milk cartons, because that was literally the only way that you could know, or like the pictures in the post offices, right? So social media has done a tremendous job in helping keep things safer, but also create such a...
But now, going back to your comedian, he was saying that it resonated with you because you felt like you had been kidnapped, and you're like, that's probably true because we don't play outside as much.
Well, and he even said he thinks that it's because the kids just don't play outside anymore.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, it was.
You said the Christmas special.
Christmas one is hilarious, and actually, there was one I watched the other night that was so funny. I'll text you which one it was. But I mean, any of them, any of the shows, and he's been doing it for many years. I mean, he's been around for probably like 10 years. And so, but he's very clean. He's super funny, raised in a Christian household. I mean, his stories are hilarious, and they're real. Like, it's super funny. So
I think some comedians that get super vulgar with their stuff kind of goes over the top a little bit. Like, they almost play on the vulgarity a little too much. And it's like, all right, man, you're good. I think I've heard the F word like one too many times. I think if you dabble with it, it's kind of funny. But if you go too much, it's like, all right. I kind of feel the same. I'm like, all right, that's enough.
It is. And just like crude stuff, like that's not funny to me. So
there's some I could relay with and get funny. I'm just saying it's just different, right?
No, true.
There's some that I could find pretty funny that are pretty dark and whatever, but they'll like try to keep hitting on it, and you're like, okay, one time was funny because it was off the wall. Now it's time to like, let's transfer to something else, right? Yeah.
And I think the reason that Nate is so funny is because he's so relatable. It doesn't matter what. I mean, you have kids, you were a kid, you have a wife, I mean, he's just a job, like, it's just, he hits everything. And so he's so relatable that, like, you literally can find, like, that's exactly why he's so funny, because he really does a great job in relating to everyone out there. So, and maybe more so because we are close to the same age too. So we have the same, perspective of life. But yeah, it's really funny. You definitely have to watch him.
So changing topics a little bit, only because it kind of popped up in my mind, going into local Amador County.
Yeah.
We had James here last week, and we were talking about the girls that went, the cheerleading girls,
yes,
are not cheerleaders, went to Universal Studios, or no,
they went to
Disney World.
Yeah, they're in Florida.
Their international competition. Did we ever get a check-in to see what they got? Or?
So I watched the video. They did amazing. Nice. They did a super great job. They did not advance to the next level.
Okay.
But they only had 1 point taken off of their score.
Nice.
So I don't know what the point was for, but they had 1 point taken off of their score, and they did amazing. And all the pictures that everybody is posting and all the videos are great. Just, it looks like they're having so much fun.
Right.
They did go to Disney World. Like, it's just, what an awesome experience. I mean, just making it there is such a huge accomplishment.
I mean, how long has it been since we were able to, as a cheerleading group, get to send them somewhere else and do something, give them some kind of praise and some good jobs? I mean, a lot of people probably feel different that cheerleading isn't a sport, but I think it is. I think it's a very hard sport.
Yeah,
I mean,
very, very
you have
athletic.
to be pretty athletic, right?
Yeah.
And what athletic ability makes it a sport? People say video games is a sport. I don't think that has any athletic ability, right? And people are getting paid tons of millions of dollars to be a professional.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, you're not going to go anywhere with it, but you have to be pretty athletic to be a good cheerleader to go somewhere. So I want to say hats off to them. Great job, girls.
Absolutely, yes, good job.
Hope you had fun. And
it was awesome. Yeah, the videos are all online. I feel like James may have posted one.
Yeah.
I was asking for him, and his girlfriend let me know that he has the video. So
awesome.
So if you don't go online and watch it, we'll send it to you. Yeah, so congratulations to the Argonaut girls. And I did want to give a little shout out to Amador Youth Basketball. Okay. So Amador Youth Basketball is a huge basketball. It's a community basketball program in Amador County. It's actually the only community basketball program in Amador County. And there's been a lot of changes this year, but that are so awesome and exciting. So I
have one kid in it right now. In the first seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and he's now playing at Amador High School. Yeah. So for years, since my kids were little, the pre-K through second graders play at Jackson Junior High. But the program has grown so much that we were literally not able to add kids. I mean, I had like more than 20 kids on a wait list that we were not being able to add just because we didn't have enough gym space. And so I was
crazy.
James Lynch. Yes, I love him, and I'm so grateful for his suggestion. We were at the clinic, and he said, why don't you do it at Amador? We could split it up onto 3 courts, and don't you think it is so much better at Amador?
Oh, I like it. It's definitely more open than like the junior high.
And the
junior high feels super tight and because you're sitting on chairs. You don't have the bleachers open at the junior high.
Yeah, so you have the bleachers, the parking's great. I mean, I feel like that's been really, really awesome. Yes, and then also we just had, we have done a lot of really fun, awesome improvements to that. So just a little shout out to Amador Youth Basketball.
No, I think they're doing great. I mean, you're giving the kids the ability to go play and do stuff. Yeah. And I mean, if there was anything that you could ask for to be able to maintain the kind of size you have now, what would that be? Like, what would it entail to keep this size, or not have kids waitlisted? Like, it's not coaching staff, right? It's just playing space.
We are so blessed with the amount of coaches that we get. I mean, this year we have 60 coaches. So, and now I have to say, there are some parents or coaches that coach multiple teams. God bless them. We know one that coaches 3 teams.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and we're so grateful for them. I mean, we did it. We coached our kids. Like, it's super fun, but we're very grateful. We could not do it without the coaches. But honestly, it's just about gym space and time. And so this year, by moving those players to Amador, we could honestly add probably 4 more teams at minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. So we could, because we have the ability to play 4 additional games because we start a little bit later, and then there's 1 court that's not, or actually maybe 2 courts that aren't being used at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think when I go there, and normally at 2, which I have to say, with a 7-year-old playing at 2
Yes.
is a little rough.
Yeah, I bet.
Because you got to go through, like, there's a lull in the afternoon, especially on a Saturday. Of course, they're going to stay up all night Friday, playing with Legos. So then you get them up and they run all day, and then they got to go play basketball too.
Right.
My kids spent.
Yeah.
I don't know about some other kids, but it's just just a long day. I feel like
you're right. It's so true. And so this was our option.
Yeah.
Our option was they either start at 8 or they go to 2. Like that was really the thing. Either we have them start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they come in and they're all groggy and they're not even awake, and you're like, I don't even think they know they're playing basketball.
No.
But then, or they go till 2. So I think those times are difficult. So we pushed it to 9:30. The games at Amador start at 9:30, and there's all but one that go to 3:30.
Nice.
So
I mean, it's still again. Originally, what I was saying was it's just a good thing for kids. I remember me growing up with it gave me the ability to go try all these different sports: basketball, soccer, baseball, and so on and so forth. And I think it's a really good thing. I just like to continue it. So it's like, if you guys ever want to look into getting invested with AYB and help them out and see what we can provide to continue having our kids be able to get out there and try sports and do things and try different things, definitely reach out and get involved, right?
It's awesome. AmadorYouthBasketball.com.
Yeah.
It is, you can register. I mean, it is one of those things that it goes very quickly.
Yeah.
So registration might be 30 days, maybe 40 days, and by day 20 we have like leagues filling up. So definitely make sure if you are going to sign up, it'll start again in September. So
you know what's the crazy thing I heard is back when I was young, again, wasn't that long ago. As you can see, I have shaved. I have probably shaved off 30 years off.
I should have talked about that. You're all clean shaven.
Yeah, but well, I didn't have an option as a kid. I was playing all the sports. My parents were like, "You're getting out. You're getting out. I don't care what you're doing. I'll make the time to get you to the practices, but you're getting out." I've heard a lot of parents recently always say, or been saying like, "Oh, we're probably gonna take a break from that sport. He's probably not liking it and all this other stuff." And I'm like, no. If he doesn't like it, he's still getting out of the house. He's going to go do it because he might end up liking it later when he starts figuring it out, but at least it's burning him some energy more than, especially during the winter times when we don't have a lot of running around going on. So you got to do the sports. Get them out there. Get them going. If they don't like it, you know what? They're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Give them some
they're going to figure out which one they do like, right? So like, that's one thing I love about Amador County is how many community programs there are. I mean, there's the football programs and there's softball, which is getting ready to start, baseball, basketball.
There's a junior high track team now.
Oh yeah.
There's track, there's wrestling. I mean, shoot, there's whatever sport you want. There's swimming. Right. I just don't think we have the big ones like, that are cost more so like lacrosse and all the other crazy stuff. But we have the good amount that we even have traveling teams for most of them too. Softball has a traveling team. Basketball, I'm pretty sure, has a traveling team.
Volleyball has a traveling team. I don't volleyball just doesn't have a community league.
Yeah, they have like a youth community league, which would be pretty cool too.
That would be cool. Yeah, so anyway, so kind of fun talking about that. Yes, but okay, lastly, we're just going to discuss, so we do have coming up, you guys, in 1 week.
19th.
1 week and 2 days.
Yeah.
We have our real estate planning class. And so we're very, very excited to do this. The real estate planning class is...
Goal planning guide. Right. Yeah.
Real estate planning guide.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. And it's very awesome because it does help you figure out like where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow or in 2 years or in 5 years or 10. And it's just really a very beneficial thing. But I just love the tools that we're able to provide you with and the tools that we're able to use. So we're very excited. Spots are filling up. So you definitely want to go on and register. And then we will get emailed out to you the booklet for you to have during the class.
Yeah,
and so, the 19th, February 19th, 6 p.m. It is a Zoom. So you do have to register so we can get that link sent out to you.
And we're also going to be out in the town walking around, knocking on doors, saying hi, see how you're doing, and give you the paperwork as well. I'm super excited for that.
Me too. I'm so excited.
People.
Yes.
But definitely get involved, right? If you don't know where to start, this is for any part of being goal-oriented
Yes.
or having a plan for your next steps in real estate, this is something that's going to be huge in helping you navigate and get information for it, because this is how we sit down and have you understand what you need to be thinking of as a priority. And I think that's super beneficial, because a lot of people don't understand that.
That's right.
They think they need to have this super high 800 credit score, and that's not true.
No, it is not true.
Some people don't know how to up their credits, or how much they need to do on a bill, or whatever it is, right? And this is something that's going to give that information to where it's going to bring it to light, to where hey, 8 months isn't that far away, and I could do this in 8 months. Yeah. Right?
No, but it's so true. And just we provide a lot of tools for you, like buying down your interest rate, or asking the seller to buy down your interest rate, or different programs that are out there that can help you. And so definitely reach out to us. So now this is, of course you can always use our What to Do Wednesday email, but we do have Real Talk WKG@gmail.com. So Real Talk WKG@gmail.com. That will bring you to us. We can it's with.
I didn't think about it.
With Kandi and Garrett.
Yeah, right. We came up with that, and I completely forgot.
Believe it or not, Real Talk with Kandi spelled my way and Garrett was taken.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? There's other Kandi and Garretts out there together.
Well, funny story, real quick before we get off of this. When I was getting married I'm not going to say the date because I'm going to butcher it. When I was getting married, on the exact same day, there was a Maddie Carlson and a Garrett Gray getting married the same exact time in Texas.
Oh my god!
Exact the same spellings on both things. And I thought that was wild.
Yeah. I am blown away. So the way that you spell my name is very unique. Thank you, Mom. I'm very grateful. If I have to be a Kandi, at least I can be a Kandi that's spelled uniquely. But it's so crazy how many Kandi Thompsons are out there with the exact same spelling as mine.
That is wild.
It's so crazy. I've never met anybody in my life with the name spelled the same way as mine, but they're out there. I see them. So I think do you have anything else? Anything to wrap it up with, Mr. Gray?
We need to start thinking of a sign off.
Oh, you guys, we are doing a Valentine giveaway. So we're so excited to be sharing it with you next week. Definitely tune in for our Valentine giveaway next week. Is it this week? It has to be this week.
It's this week.
I don't even know what today is.
Today's the 10th.
Okay, but no, it's actually
Friday
the 12th.
Is Valentine's Day.
It's really the 12th.
But it's really the 12th.
It's Wednesday the 12th. Yes, thank you, Garrett. Anyway, okay, we are doing a Valentine giveaway and we're going to push out promotions. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. What is it now? We're going to...
Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett.
Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett. So when you're looking it up, Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett, we will also look at the description on here because we'll have it on here also. And then also we want to let you know that we are giving away dinner for two at the Lone Wolf at the Jackson Rancheria and movie tickets. So we are going to be doing that. We're going to be doing the drawing on Friday, February 14th, the morning of, and we will do the drawing live. Yes, Garrett? Okay.
We're doing it live on Friday?
Friday.
Or are we doing it next Wednesday?
No.
Valentine's Day's on Friday.
I know, but we have to tell them that they have so we're gonna help out the people that didn't make any plans for Valentine's Day.
Oh, so
and they're gonna be like, honey,
you want to do that in the morning on Friday?
Honey, I am.
You know what? We'll figure out the dynamic of this. We're doing a live drawing.
We're gonna do a live drawing.
Have to be a subscriber. So check our pages. This will be on Shorts.
We're doing it.
Just look at Real Talk -KG. At Real Talk -KG.
Okay.
That is our handle.
And there will be more information put out, so just keep an eye out for the promotions of the Valentine giveaway. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good week.
Check you later.
We just want to give you a What to Do Wednesday disclaimer. The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official stance of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services or Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties or any affiliated entities. This podcast does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice, and listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific needs. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness or reliability of any information discussed. We are not responsible for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Additionally, topics covered in the podcast are based on the host's experience and opinions and may not apply to all situations. Listeners are reminded that real estate laws and regulations may vary by location, and information may become outdated over time. By listening to this podcast, you agree to release the host, guests, and any associated entities from any liability related to the topics discussed.